So yeah, by the show of hands, who had a difficult 2023? Usually talks start off like, how you guys doing this morning? I can't hear you. No, I'm gonna keep it real. It's more like, how bad are we doing, guys? Are you guys all right out there? Usually when agents get together, the conversation, it becomes like a competition of whose agency is doing better. But this year, it seems like the competition is whose agency is doing worse. I was talking to a couple of agents. One of them was from Oklahoma. The other one was from Texas. The Oklahoma agent was talking about these 130% rate increases. The Texas agent was telling me about these monoline non-renewals. But I'm from California, guys. So let me brag to you guys how difficult my 2023 was. So 2022 was actually a great year for me. We sold more policies than we ever had before, and I was thinking big. I was thinking expansion. So that whole year, I was looking for new office space. I was going to double my office space, get up to 6,500 square feet, found that office, planned it, designed it, and signed a 7-year lease, $20,000 a month. And in December, I was getting ready to move into that new office. The week before we were going to move in, my DM came to my office. We sat in the conference room table, and he told me that Bristol West is getting shut down for new business. So that was a product that we've been writing for over 16 years, ever since the beginning, and at that time, we were writing $350,000 worth of it every month. So I asked him, okay, when is this going to happen? Next week. But it gets worse. Bristol West is also being non-renewed. And that was 5,500 policies from my agency, over $5 million worth of my book of business. It was my third of my book of business. And that started in February. So from February to August, in a span of 6 months, I had 800 non-renewals every single month. But it gets worse. Way worse. In April, my French bulldog that we had, our family French bulldog for 12 years, Paris, passed away. And that same week, we got a call none of us ever wants to have. Our agency is getting audited, and we're getting investigated. We had no idea what was going on, and our binding authority was suspended. So any change you want to do, obviously new business too, has to go through underwriting approval. And it was made pretty clear at that moment that my contract was in jeopardy. So I was driving home one day, and I was telling myself, I know you're a hard worker. You can handle any grind. But can you handle the uncertainty? And due to the standings, I was disinvited to President's Council and Toppers Club. And 4 long months later, sleepless months, the company made a decision. And I'm here with you guys, so I'm very thankful for that. There was a decision the company made that was devastating, but I stomached it the best I can. And then just the regular California profitability issues. If you're from California, my brothers and sisters, I really understand what you guys are going through. In California, to get auto insurance right now, there's a 319-day waiting period. You gotta submit your blood and urine. Okay. Take a picture of your bank account, just to make sure there's $1 million in there. And take a picture of your stomach, because if you don't have a chiseled abs, 6-pack, we're gonna have to decline you. And then the new business bonus was gone. So that was $50,000 to $60,000 worth of my revenue there per month, and basically our new business commissions got cut in half. And it made my agency, just like the company, an unprofitable one. So it's very difficult to go through what I was going through and see my bank account going down and down month after month. In fact, it got so difficult for me financially that there was a couple months out of the year last year that I didn't buy any Air Jordans for the whole month. I was hoping they'd go on sale, but they never did. And then one of my producers, when you're a producer at an insurance agency, then a lot of your income comes from commission. So my second top producer, she's been with me for 8 years. She's making over $100,000, but her income was severely affected. So she got another job at an independent agency. And I'm not sure what type of pyramid scheme they got going on over there, but she recruited and took away 4 of my other producers. So that was combined 20 years of working experience that left me all in the span of 3 weeks. So since I have a little bit of experience in this, I want to go over with you guys how to overcome your adversities. And someone asked me, what's the first step in the podcast? And I said, first one is to take accountability. Everything that happens to us is our own fault. I told the company that we did have incorrect information. I owned up to what we did. Even though it wasn't changing the rates, there's a little bit of misunderstanding there, but I said, hey, it's our fault. We're going to learn from this, and we're going to grow from this. Because if you blame somebody else, like the company or Department of Insurance or your staff members, or the worst, your DM or the market, then you're just going to become a helpless victim of the world. We want to take control back by accepting responsibility and not wasting a crisis and not learning from it and growing from it. And number 2 is think objectively. I want to thank my DM, Jim MacGyver, and Jack MacGyver. I'm not sure where they are right now, but without them, I wouldn't be here probably today. They really helped me out, figure out what's happening to you. Don't take it personal. No one's trying to destroy you. Just think logically and without getting too emotional, because naturally I had a lot of frustrations or anger. But those emotions are really going to hurt and make you make bad decisions. So logically, just think, what is the situation you're in, calmly, and then number 3, strategize. Obviously, we have to think of a new plan because the previous plan wasn't working before. So I got really deep into my thoughts early in the morning when no one else was waking up, kids, wife, clients, producers, and just really got into a real deep thought and try to figure out what can I do to get out of this situation. And when you really get really deep into your thoughts, that's when you actually find opportunities from the obstacle you're in. And that hope is something that really helped me carry through these times. And then adapt. As Raul said, the faster the better. There's no time to be feeling sorry for ourselves. The only thing that won't change in this business is that there always will be changes. And once you have a plan and you're ready to adapt, then it's time to take massive action. I always consider myself a hard worker, but last year I had to find another gear in me. I started sleeping earlier, waking up earlier, going to the gym longer, getting more strict on my diet. And I just cut out all the bad vices, alcohol, gambling, even in Vegas. So far, so good. But yeah, things were getting so overwhelming. The problems, like, am I going to get fired? Who's staff's going to leave me now? How much money am I going to lose this month? But when everything starts coming overwhelming, then I started to say, hey, I need to become overwhelming too. I could be a force, and I'm going to overwhelm my problems by taking massive action. And what lessons did I learn from all this? I want to share with you guys what I learned so you guys don't have to go through some of this. Number 1 is have a compliance manager. It's very difficult for us to be able to oversee everything our staff members are doing. But somebody in our agency, it could be you or somebody else, should be reviewing everything. Now I have a compliance manager that goes over every single endorsement, every single business to make sure every single picture, every single initial, every single signature, everything is received, because that's how much compliance really is important. I used to think all about production, but compliance is such an important factor in being able to build a business. And also, I learned that the best way to change your employees' behavior is to change the comp plan. Now, if my producer is doing anything that doesn't follow our agency's guidelines, they're not going to get paid on it. So unless you just want to sell for the thrill of it, you're not going to get paid on it at my agency. And then be humble. 2022, I had some thoughts. Everything was going well. Maybe I should buy a Lamborghini. I'm so glad I didn't. When you go through a difficult time, it's so much better if you have some money saved up for a rainy day. And I had an intuition that business is always going to have its ups and downs. And also be humble in a way that just because you're writing a whole lot of policies, excuse my language, but don't think you're the shit. Because as soon as you think you're the shit, that's when you turn into shit. And the number one thing, guys, that I learned after everything that I went through is that having a great attitude is everything. And the funny thing is, having a great attitude doesn't cost us anything. It's absolutely free. You don't have to pay for it. You don't have to go to training for it. You don't have to go to a course on it. You don't have to go to a conference for it. It's just a simple decision that we just have to make if we're going to have a good attitude or not. But then on the flip side, a bad attitude costs us everything. I really think if I would have had a bad attitude last year, I would have lost my business. And that would have only probably been the beginning. It could have been my marriage. It could have been my most important relationship with my kids. It could have been my health if I went into bad vices and tried to deal with stress that way. So if there's only one thing you guys get out of my presentation, just one thing, let's have a positive and optimistic attitude. Because literally the only difference between having a successful business or being out of business. And the benefits of going through adversity, believe it or not, guys, there's so much benefits, and I'm so thankful for the experiences I went through. Number one, you find out who believes in you. It was so difficult for me to lose the staff members that I really cared about last year. But it also, when there's a storm, exposes everyone's true character. I found out which staff members really wanted to be with me. And in fact, which ones are willing to lose with me. Because those are the ones you want to win with. And also, you find out who you want to win with as well. The company is going through a difficult time right now. A lot of agents were probably thinking, maybe even including me. But after everything the company has done for my family, I decided I believe in the leadership team. I believe in Ken and Raul and Kirk. And I'm willing to go through the rain with Farmers Insurance, because together we'll be winning again soon. And then you also come up with the best ideas. During the darkest moments, I feel that's when the brightest ideas are born. Things you would have never thought of before, and you become so resourceful. Now I feel like I built a foundation that's wider, with compliance systems, with customer service systems, with managerial positions. And now I feel like since the foundation is wider, I could build an agency bigger than it was ever before. And also, this is when winners are created. I guess you could call 2023 my losing season. But that's when true character is exposed. So the ones that could conduct themselves by staying true to their true character and principles and values, and don't go just jumping ships or going back to bad vices anytime anything gets hard, and really build themselves up and withstand the storm, that's when true winners are created. When it's winning season, it's easy to win. Everybody wins. In reality, no one's really growing. But during losing season, that's when true character is built and winners are created. So for me, I built a recruiting team because I needed more recruiting, more staff members. We're up to 25 employees, so finally we could provide the great customer service our clients deserve. Life insurance system, 3 managers, and we're writing more commercial and life insurance than ever before. Just last month, it felt great to be invited to the first promo since all this that I qualified for. It was actually for life insurance. And I got to watch my favorite team, the Clippers, at the Farmers Suite. So I'm very thankful to be welcomed back with open arms. Thank you, Kirk. But the challenges are still going to come, right, guys? So recently I just got out of a meeting, and I checked my phone, and I got a missed call and a voicemail. It was my market leader, Mr. Sean Kitts, left me a voicemail, said call him back. So if you've been through what I've been through, you get a little paranoid. A little traumatic experience there. So what do my staff members do now? What products is getting shut down? Is it a commission cut? So nervously and reluctantly, I gave him a call back. And he said, you've been invited to be a member of the President's Council again. Thank you, guys. But since challenges are still going to come, I want to remind you guys, lastly, that we are built for this. You are built for this. I'm sure you guys have been through stuff way more harder than I've been through last year. Losing a family member, your health condition, getting out of a toxic relationship, financial difficulties, growing up in a bad neighborhood or a difficult household or addiction. You've been able to overcome even that. If you're an agency owner here with staff members, I know what type of shit you go through. And compound that with being maybe a parent, or especially if you're a mom, I don't know how you guys do it. So much respect for you guys. And I want to just acknowledge you guys for taking the time out of your schedule and being here with us, because that's a true sign that you believe in this company too. And you're built for this too. Together, we're a force. We're going to take massive action to overcome our problems to help this company win again. 2023 we all struggled, but it taught us how strong we really are and that we are able to overcome now any obstacle this business could throw at us. And I want to remind you how strong you really are, because it's true. Thank you, Gabriella and Richard, for having me. And thank you guys for your time. But I want to leave you guys with this. We could lose our policies. We could lose our awards and our trips. We could lose our bonus, but we will never lose our positive attitude. Thank you.